So I said, holy shit, insecurities are everywhere. And I'm talking about mine, and I'm also talking about an instance with a customer, a couple of different instances, but we'll see how many stories I get to in this part of the podcast. So the story that I'm thinking of is right when I started, maybe a year after I started working for my current company. So this was 2015, 2016. I was working in outside sales, selling commercial food equipment to schools and restaurants and hotels and country clubs and bars and all that kind of stuff. So all of the things that you see out at the tables and the bars we were sitting at, all the stuff back in the kitchen, that's what the company I work for, we sell a whole bunch of those kind of products. And one of our biggest customer groups is schools, K through 12, elementary, middle, high schools, because they buy a lot of equipment for feeding all the students, all the kids and everything. And I work with a lot of the people that are called child nutrition directors. And they are the ones that are responsible for all the food service department and the menus and all of that. And those are typically the people that we work with. So I was working on, again, less than a year in, building relationships with these types of customers. And one in particular was a woman who was maybe 5 years, 7 years older than me, maybe a little bit older. And I had visited her multiple times and worked on a handful of projects and everything. And whenever I would interact with her, she was always very pleasant, very casual. She was not shy of using language, not shy of talking, very, very casually that you typically wouldn't find between, a customer and someone who's trying to get them to be a customer. But so I'm usually a little bit more reserved. I don't mind cutting loose and all that, but I'm like, hey, I'm at work, so probably, should maintain a certain level of decorum. And nothing that she said was outrageous or whatever, but just surprised that, a person in a position like that was kind of throwing around language and the way she would talk about different situations and whatever. So we got to have a pretty, what I thought was a pretty decent working relationship. And for that year for Christmas, I had bought about maybe 5 or 6 different customers of mine this same gift. And the gift was a little set of cocktail plates from Williams-Sonoma. And there was 4 plates. And each of the plates said something, had like some funny saying on it. One of them was like, dessert, ... it's worth the wait, but wait was spelled W-E-I-G-H-T. One of them said like, get your hands off my plate, you skinny bitch. One of them, 2 other ones, they said stuff or whatever. And at the time, this was my mistake. I thought that was like a funny gift for the people that I bought them for, based on the way that they had conversed with me, not the other way around, the way that they had conversed with me. I thought that they would get a kick out of this gift. And some of the people were male and some of the people were female. So I gave 5 or 6 of these away at Christmas time. And out of the, let's just say 5 that I gave, 4 of the people responded back to me either with a phone call or an email. Love this, such a great gift. Thank you so much. So funny. Gonna use them this weekend, blah, 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 right? All that kind of fun stuff. And I was like, okay, awesome. And then this one person that I mentioned earlier that I had been working with, who I thought would really kind of get a kick out of it and laugh and think it was funny, apparently did not. And she was furious. I did not find out about this from her. I found out about it because the 3 or 4 owners of my company at the time had called me and let me know. Now, they handled it super well with me. They were not mad at me or they were not yelling at me, and they probably should have. But it was an eye-opening experience that, number one, I think I was insecure about my ability to be a good salesperson, insecure about my ability to build relationships with customers. So I was looking for a shortcut. I was looking for a fast pass, if you will, to get to the front of the line without having to do all the work, because I think I was probably insecure about having to do that part of the work. And also I think on her end, I think there was some insecurities there about, I guess she had made comments to our ownership team that she thought I was basically fat shaming her. And number one, there was no indication with your eyeballs to indicate that there was any type of a reason for fat shaming. Not that there ever is, but there was none of that. This person was of normal build, normal size, whatever that means. But I think there was some insecurities on her end where she was projecting that outward to me. So here I am projecting my insecurities outward on to her and these other customers by trying to buy a gift, which I think will get me goodwill, which will expedite the relationship building process, what will get me to the front of the line because I'm afraid and insecure that maybe I'm not good enough once they see me when I'm doing the work to build that relationship. And then on the flip side is her maybe being a little less than receptive to something or taking something personally, like why would someone who's pursuing you to be their customer also fat shame you with a gift? That doesn't seem like those two line up. But I thought that was quite the interesting story, and it's something that my coworkers and I still joke about today every time around the holidays, which is pretty funny.